Despite having more than a passing resemblance to Ecto Cooler, it tastes way better. Stick around.
I just said, yes, man, right away, anything.
So you may have seen the grapefruit cello video that I did and the creamsicle video that I did where I made orange cello and turned it into creamsicle. Well, today we're going to take those two techniques and put them together to make LIMECello. And I have to tell you, this is really, really good. I didn't expect it to be this good, but it's actually fantastic. So I highly recommend that you try this one out. So let's get the easy part out of the way. What do you need? All right, so you need some high proof alcohol, some neutral spirit, preferably something around between 80 and 95% ABV. This is 83%, but you can use 95, 96% Everclear. This one I hypothetically made in this video right up here. So all we do is we take 500 mils of our neutral, and then we're going to get 8 limes and one of these things. This is a little grater microplane. You can use a vegetable peeler like I did in my previous videos, but these are much better. The reason why is it allows you to skin off just the outer layer of the peel and leave all that white pith behind, because that can end up making a bitter spirit. This is a way better option. If your local grocery store doesn't sell these, I'll put an Amazon link for a cheap one down in the video description. So basically you take your 8 limes and you start scrubbing them across this thing to peel them. And once you get those all peeled, you throw them into your jar, you throw in your 500 mils of spirit, and then you let it sit. Easy. Simple. You're just making a maceration or infusion with those lime peels to get all the color and all the flavor out of it. If you hear thunder in the background, that's because the weather's not cooperating on my filming schedule. So, how long do you let it sit? Not very long. The reason why this video is delayed is because I had to do it again, because I let the peels sit for too long. When you grate up the peels like this, they don't need nearly as much time because they're so ground up by this little guy that the alcohol can really attack the cells in that peel and pull all the color and all the flavor out very quickly. How quickly? Less than a day. So keep that in mind. If you're using something like this, you do not need much time. If you do let it sit for too long, like I did in my first batch, then it comes out looking like this. Yeah, that's not super attractive, is it? Before we finish up the recipe and I show you how this is supposed to turn out, I'd like to go ahead and thank today's sponsor, Into the AM. If you need t-shirts and you like cool graphics, then hit up this link right here. I'm going to post it down in the video description and in the top comment, because if you use this link, you're going to get 10% off your purchases. So if you want like a t-shirt subscription, or if you want to get a bundle package, or if you need some underwear, then you're going to get 10% off whatever the discount already happens to be on those. So check out their graphic tees section. This is one of the new designs that they just put up. Fair warning, you may need to get a couple of extra t-shirts, because as soon as your significant other figures out how soft these are, they may end up wearing them as pajama tops for the rest of your life. So if you check out Into the AM, make sure you use this link down here so you can get 10% off of all your purchases. So let's see what happened with my second batch of the LIMECello. This is how it's supposed to look. I mean, look at that. It's emerald green. I put this together at 10 o'clock last night. It's now 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And yeah, it's just fantastic. It's nice and bright and citrusy and limey and alcoholic. So now all we need to do is strain the alcohol off of these peels, and you could see how much lighter they are now. You know, they've lost a lot of their color. I don't think they're going to give any more up without it kind of oxidizing and turning that ugly olive color. So before we throw this together, I want to thank Adon, my Patreon Adon. Dude, thank you so much. I'd kind of been thinking about maybe doing some limes, but I was like, I don't know if that'll come out good. But he went ahead and tried it out and sent me a message on Patreon and sent me a bunch of his pictures of the progress, and it was so awesome that I was like, I gotta pull the trigger on that. So dude, thank you so much. And thanks to all the rest of my Patreons. all of you guys down here and every single one of my Patreons. Thank you guys so much for ideas like this, inspiration, kicks in the butt so that I give things a try. This is why I'm eternally grateful to you guys. Not only are you keeping the lights on, literally, it's been a really slow summer. You guys are actually helping me to make this content, so I am grateful and I thank you all so very much. All right, so moving on. So now we're just gonna strain this out so that we can finish it up. First, for the LIMECello, we're gonna make a quick, simple syrup. We're gonna take 2 cups of sugar and 2 cups of water, mix those together, heat them up in the microwave so that the sugar dissolves. All right, so while that's heating up in the microwave, you're gonna measure out 250 mils of your lime-infused spirit and put that into a jar. When your sugar comes out of the microwave, go ahead and stir it up thoroughly to make sure it's completely dissolved. The sugar is dissolved and ready to go. We've got 250 mils of our spirit ready to go. And we have a shit ton of limes with no skin on them. You know, I've had plenty of limoncello, and the one thing that I always thought was it kind of lacked a little bit of acidity. So when I made that grapefruit cello and put the juice in it, that kind of sold it for me. I don't think I'm ever gonna make another cello without putting at least some juice into that final product so that I can get that acidity, that extra little zing, because it's fucking delicious, quite frankly. I think I'm gonna go with at least 50 mils of lime juice. Oh, I did the math on a proofing calculator to figure out to get this from 83% down to around 30-ish. I need to put in about 440 milliliters of liquid. The simple syrup, the lime juice, both, whatever, needs to be about 440. My final ABV is not gonna be exact because these things are based off of the density of water, and lime juice is pretty close, but simple syrup is way more dense. It's gonna throw off your ABV percentage by a few points. So just keep that in mind. All right, so I'm just gonna, looks like we're at about 50 mils. So we're gonna mix this with our simple syrup and then throw that into our jar and see what happens. So I just went for about 400 total milliliters to add to this, because that gives me a little bit of wiggle room if I want to add some more lime juice and still kind of keep my proof above 30. So let's see. How's the color going to stay on this one? Oh, it's looking good so far. I was hoping that it would stay more of an emerald green, but you know, with the dilution of the sugar and the lime juice, it just goes a little pale. I guess if you wanted it to be more emerald green, you could always just throw some food coloring in it if you want to. I mean, they do that in the liquor industry. You don't think that creme de menthe is naturally that color, do you? It kind of reminds me of when you add water to absinthe and it goes that kind of milky color. But still, it's a lot better than that first attempt where the extract itself was kind of olivey, greeny brown. This is more of an ecto cooler. But the key is the flavor. Does it taste good? And the answer is an overwhelming yes. This stuff, it's a little higher than 30. This stuff is without a doubt one of the tastiest beverages I have ever made. My wife tried this ugly one and she was like, wow, that is fantastic. It's ugly and I don't want to drink it, but it's fantastic. So, and since she's not really a spirit drinker, that kind of gives you an idea of how tasty this is. It's citrusy, it's bright, it's punchy and alcoholic and sweet. And one other thing that she said that I think was brilliant was if I put this with like club soda, she would drink it every day. To me, that sounds like a wasted step. Why would you dilute it? Okay, so for the LIMECello cream or the key lime pie cocktail, we're gonna do 250 mils of whole milk and 150 mils of heavy cream. And to that, we're gonna weigh out 150 grams of sugar. We're going to add a pinch of nutmeg and a little cinnamon, and then half a vanilla bean. And we're just going to heat this up until it's 180 degrees. Now that our cream and milk and everything is all cooled off, let's go ahead and add it into our remaining 250 mils of beautiful emerald lime extract that is not going to stay that way, unfortunately. Let's give this a little shaky shake. And now let's try it. That does taste like key lime pie. Oh, that's awesome. Trying this and having it taste exactly the way it's supposed to. This one, stick it in the fridge. It's going to last you a month or two. This one, I would recommend storing on the shelf at room temperature for about a week. And that's going to let the flavors blend together really, really well. And then stick it in your freezer and serve it at your leisure. Honestly, I think these cellos, all of them, would be great with club soda. Just as a nice, kind of refreshing, citrus-based cocktail. You know, I'm disappointed with the color. As you saw from the initial maceration, it was beautiful emerald green. And now it's this kind of ecto cooler color. So it's not super fantastic. The only thing I can say is that it may eventually drop clear. I don't know, but it might. And the reason why I say that, hang on a second. This is my grapefruit cello that I made, what, like a month ago? And it started out being, you know, completely cloudy and orange. Now if you wanted to, you could siphon this off at the top or siphon this out from the bottom and, you know, get a much clearer thing. Maybe filter it a few times to see if you can get it to pull some of the particulate out. Who knows if this will clear and get just kind of a better appearance. So if you've done this and you know what to do to get this to be a little clearer or to have a brighter, better color, let me know in the comments down below. I would really appreciate it. If you pull this out, like, hey, you want to try a cocktail I made? Here you go. What is that? Is there shit swimming in there? You know, the one thing that I didn't make for a video is LIMECello. And I really dig that stuff, but I like this better. It's ugly as sin, but it sure is good. And this one, holy crap, we made key lime pie, alcoholic, and in a jar. So again, thank you, Adon. Thank you so much for this inspiration. I really appreciate it. All right, so the recipe for all this stuff is going to be down in the video description, along with the link for the t-shirts. This is another one of the new designs they did. So again, if you have any suggestions on fixing the color of this guy, comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, hit the like button because it really helps out the channel. If you want to find out what I'm going to do next time, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down here and the little bell icon right next to it so you can get notified when I post new content. All right. Thanks for watching. Talk at you later.